Mr. Naruto? What on earth were you playing at just now? Or rather... What on earth were you playing at all along? My hypothesis! My amazing hypothesis! You've been picking holes in it from the start! How else am I supposed to get you a not guilty? Sorry about that. Well, you promised me! You said you'd prove that rotted explosion was an accident, not murder! You said you'd keep my precious invention from falling into anyone else's hands! But all you've done so far is try to undermine me! Yeah, I did make you a promise, you're right. I said that I'd believe in you and fight for your freedom to the very end. But I also told you I was no scientist. I don't understand your hypothesis at all. The fact is, there's an undeniable flaw in your logic, isn't there? But if I just run through some equations... Yes, you see? It's because my work is incomplete! Perhaps it is. Nevertheless, a man died as a consequence, didn't he? Now do you get it? Oh no! You're right. I don't think I've heard this song before. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. I have no right to blame you for my failures. I'm a disaster, not just as a scientist, but as a human being! That might be a little over the top. And while we're on the subject... What about Barak? He's being awful. Claiming his old university friend to be a murderer, you mean? Oh wait, no, that's me. Claiming his old university friend to be a murderer? He's a disaster, not just as a prosecutor, but as a human being! Oh, but no, wait. He's the Reaper, isn't he? Perhaps he's not classified as Homo sapiens anymore. What is he now? Homo... necromancian? Glad that's cleared up. Can I double check something with you? Yeah? Well, the machine and demonstration you prepared, they were based entirely on your hypothesis? There was no trickery? Yeah, like... Okay, Hairbrain, you just said that you didn't make the machine, you had an engineer buddy do it, so... Where do we find this person? 'Cause... If you didn't build it, chances are the engineer did a little, like, made some little tweaks to it without your knowing. I drew the plans for the machine with my very own hands. Every line was painstakingly drawn with the firm belief that science is the only future. So yes, it's true that my hypothesis hasn't reached maturity yet. But please, Mr. Naruto, you must believe in it. Alright, Professor, I understand. I want to see the new witnesses. It all hinges on that demonstration. If the professor's hypothesis is sound as he claims, it leaves him as the only person who could possibly have killed the victim. But on the other hand, Mr. Sholmes was adamant. A practical implementation such as was attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition is quite impossible. So really, what should I be trying to prove here? Is there a middle ground I can do? Like, it worked, but not as, like, not entirely. I hereby reconvene the process for defense and prosecution. Are you ready for a new witnesses to testify? Prosecution is ready, my lord. As is the defense, my lord. Sure, Lord Van Zeeks. I believe these next witnesses saw the demonstration on the day in question with their own eyes. Indeed, they did. And as luck would have it, one of them is a police detective. Gregson? So the testimony we're about to hear can be considered highly reliable. You sure about that? Great, a detective of all people. Prosecution's stance remains unchanged. Though it ended a tragedy, the demonstration on the day in question was scientifically sound. And consequently, sole person with the opportunity to have committed this act of murder is the only other individual to have been present on the stage, the accused.
Thank you, Counsel. The prosecutor's position is clear. Shall bring forth your witnesses now.
Bailiff, show the witnesses in. The witnesses whose proximity to the incident on the day in question will clarify the truth unequivocally. What? Balloons talk. Hey! Wait. Oh, right, she saw it. Also, Van Zees, you don't recognize her? Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Balthazar Loon. Balloon. My name is Balthazar Loon. I am the impresario of all the out there balloons in what am I doing Italian? In vicinity of the Esperimento? Is Esperimento Italian? An impresario? I don't know. Also, how is your hat not catching on fire? My name is Wilhelm Gottschalk Sigismund Ormstein. Ormstein. I very briefly took German. Took a few German courses. My pronunciation is probably gonna be way off, but I'll try my best. Also, what happened to your head? I have come to this great exhibition of the way from my home in Bohemia. Have you heard of the Bohemian Rhapsody? I'm very rich. Inspector Gina Lestrade, Scotland Yard. I'm a great detective. Even Sherlock Sholmes agrees. I was on security duty at the exhibition, and I got to go up in one of them balloons. It was amazing. Gina. 11. 42. Impresario. I still. The balloons the balloons above the experimentation. So he's in charge of all those hot air balloons? Okay, because when it said balloons, I thought it was just those small ones. Also, where are your parents? Wilhelm Gottschalk Sigismund Ormstein. But she did mention that she'd seen a disaster from up in a balloon, didn't she? She clearly loved every minute of it. Damn it, Gina! There were 3 balloons flying near the public experimentation stage when the incident occurred. 2 of these witnesses were in one such balloon at the time, and saw events unfold from the skies above. You make it sound like they were in clouds. It was only an altitude of circa 60 feet, very low. Well, you can't see nothing if you fly too high, can you? 60 feet. About 18 meters, then.
Thank you for introductions. Now you will give a formal testimony for the court. Kindly describe exactly what you witnessed, especially those of you who had a vantage point above the stage. I want to go in the hot air balloon.
It was an incident terribile? Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back. I had to grab my phone. Okay, so, Terribile is Italian, so I guess apologies to Italians everywhere. I'm only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. There's this huge bang from the stage, and then the next second, another bang in the sky beside us. And from amidst this smoke, a cage appeared out of nowhere. The cage, it fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into a crystal tower. I didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one went near after crashing into the tower.
Most extraordinary collective account, I must say.
Could I clarify something? There's a detail in the witness's testimony that I've not heard any mention of until now. Specifically, that there were 2 explosions? More precisely, 2 explosions in 2 separate places, yes. Oh, from the, teleportation. I think. When the demonstration began, the balloon carrying the 2 witnesses was around here. There were other balloons in the air nearby at the time, carrying other passengers as well, to be clear. Then, as power was supplied to the machine for the demonstration, the first explosion occurred. The so-called bird cage that contained the victim disappeared from the stage. And a moment later... excuse me. The second explosion occurred directly adjacent to the balloon carrying the witnesses. The bird cage appeared at the site of the explosion, subsequently to plummet down into the crystal tower. I felt very surprised. Suddenly a cage appeared before my eyes with a person inside. Oh no, your balloon! The blast was so hot, but I didn't want to miss a thing, so I kept my eyes wide. I still have lots of money. At the end, this whole courtroom is going to be full of balloons that he let go of.
Precisely who is this curious infant?
I'm told he is a young noble of Bohemian royalty. Apparently, he disguised himself in order to steal unnoticed into the Great Exhibition. Yeah, I am here in London on a sightseeing trip with my elementary school. You'll have the benefit of a child's point of view in the testimony. Benefit? Ah! Then I remove my mask. This is what I look like.
Oh yes, I see. A delightful face, I'm sure.
What happened to your head? Yeah, everybody says so. Great disguise, then. The point is, the testimony of these witnesses further substantiates the facts for the court. Namely, that despite ending in an explosion, instantaneous kinesis was successfully demonstrated. And furthermore, that until the arrival of the police, no one approached the crystal tower where the victim fell. Therefore, only the accused, who was with Mr. Osmond on the stage, could possibly have committed the murder.
Yes, thank you, counsel. The prosecutor's view of the matter quite clear. Sure, the defense's cross-examination now, please.
Yes, my lord. There were 3 balloons flying above the experimentation at the time. Si, all 3 of them, my bellissimi bambini. Bellissimi? I've heard of bellissima, but not bellissimi. You're very popular, signor. Some people would pay £10 for one ride. £10?! That's more than my annual stipend! £20 a month. That is my pocket money. Yeah. Royals have all the luck. Eat the rich! I got up there for free, I did. Play the old workout. Play the old, I work for Her Majesty's police card, you know. Detectives have all the luck. If they're so popular, why would you only be operating such a small number of them? Because if I have too many in the skies, they could crash into each other. The operators for the balloons were decided by lots. I'm hoping they were trained for this, because if they were just like random people who wants to operate a balloon, let's go, then See, in the zone above public experimentation stage is the most profitable. You're impresarios, they hate me.
Thank you, witness. I think the court has a clear picture of the arrangements for balloon rides at the exhibition. Perhaps we can hear more about what you actually witnessed of the incident.
Right. I can fill you in there, my lord.
Hold it!
So you actually saw the accident happen from up in the air? Yep. Indian minds in what a detective gets to do, I'm telling you, Otto, being a lawyer is a mug game. You should join the force and we can go flying together. You know me so. Well, anyway, could you tell us exactly what you saw? Everything. You saw everything, because we were up above it all. That dodgy cove climbing into that cage and that dodgy professor pulling all them levers. And that's when it happened. That's when there was a massive bang and the cage disappeared. Just like that.
You're describing the moment that the subject's body was decomposed by the electricity, I believe.
I didn't know what to make of it. But then there was another bang, right in me. I looked around, and there was a huge great fireball right next to us in the sky. And there was nothing there before. Were there other balloons? Also toddler.
Excuse me.
Master Guts, does your memory of the day differ? My teacher at elementary school says that when you meet someone for the first time, you should always use their full name. What was it again? Wilhelm Gottschalk Sigismund Ormstein. Just the 4 names then? The point is, do you have something to say? Something to add in response to Detective Gina Lestrad's last remark. Oi, get it right, Otto! It's Inspector Lestrade. Why does everyone have a problem with how they say their names? That is not what I saw. Huh? Yeah, there was a second explosion. It was right beside our balloon. That is true. But I'm sure... Which is what I said, ain't it? One minute there was nothing there. Next, massive explosion. My teacher at elementary school says that when someone is speaking, if you are rude enough to interrupt, you will have the most awful life imaginable. I want my balloon! Are all Bohemians brought up to be so full of joy? That dude's gonna make bank from this court. Well, from this trial, anyway. Just before the second explosion happened next to our balloon, I clearly witnessed a green balloon flying in the sky. Oh! 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 That's where this is from. A green balloon? You what? I never saw nothing like that. Yeah, well I did. I saw it. You can't say I didn't. I will complain to the council. I will cry and scream. My testimony is included. I am Bohemian Prince. You cannot say it's a lie. That is not allowed. Shh. Playing the balloon royalty card, are ya? Typical. Says the little girl who played the detective card. Exactly. Thank you.
That cursing mom, I'm going to ask you to make your formal testimony. In the interest of cordial national relations between Great Britain and Bohemia.
Hold it!
A green balloon. Are you sure about that? Of course I am sure. I am proud Bohemian Prince. All of these questions are making me boring. I think you mean bored. Ugh. English is very annoying. The language of my countrymen is far superior. Ragazzo. It is very wrong to lie. Ragazzo? Is that his real name? Hold on. Let me... Pulling up my phone, looking it up. Oh, ragazzo is it means lad, or I guess child. Lie. Flying balloons never explode. For the same reason the planets never explode. It is logico. Is it... Crap, I don't know much Italian. Is it logico or logico? Logico? Please tell me that doesn't mean logical. If you insult me, you insult all of Bohemia. My day. I will have the army come and shoot all of your stupid balloons out of the sky. All of them. Balloon, please. Balloon, bitte. See? It's like, I will destroy all your balloons. One more balloon, bitte. Here you are, Your Highness. If only all international incidents were easily resolved. Now that peaceful relations have been restored here in the courtroom, perhaps you could return to the testimony. Did you also see the moment that the cage materialized, Mr. Loon? No, I did not see the explosion myself. However, apologies to Italians and Germans and non-American accents everywhere. The cage... Oh, wait.
Hold it!
Did you see that actually happen? Wait, I forget. Was Loon on the ground or was he in the balloon? No, in reality, I did not. I saw it after it hit the tower. There was a grand confusion around the stage. I ran to see what had happened. Okay, so he was on the ground. I was terrorized by the idea that one of my balloons had crashed. I suppose they are his livelihood. But when I looked up to the sky, all my precious balloons were still there. I saw it, though. I saw it slam into the tower. After all, I'm a detective now. Then tell us what you saw, Inspector Lestrade. That's what I like to hear.
Hold it!
Was it you who gave the order to keep people away? Use your head, Otto. How could it have been me? I was up in a balloon, wasn't I? Oops, yeah. So, cause I wasn't available, it was the boss who had to leg it over there. He was getting shoved and kicked all over by the panicking spectators as he tried to steal off the scene. It was a real sight to behold, I can tell you. Amazing! Poor Gregson. So anyway, I couldn't see the cage that well cause of all the smoke. And I didn't really want to say, to be honest. I was scared out of me wits. I would be too. Keep it together, Inspector. Prosecution really is asserting that the demonstration was genuine. What if it was actually some kind of switch-around trick instead? The old switcheroo! That would mean the victim was never actually on the stage. It was a wax statue! The two explosions would have thrown everyone watching into a panic. I think we need to find out more about what happened. I feel like I should present that green canvas, but I feel like it would just prove his point and wouldn't prove much.
Objection!
Fuck! Wait, would you kill him all over precisely what we found out about your returning to Japan? I wouldn't be back to give the court an answer for about 4 months.
Rest assured, we shall be happy to carry proceedings forward in your absence, Counsel.
Oh! You sound serious. Wait. Inside the cage, no one went near it. Oh, sorry, hold on, I gotta do a quick bathroom break. Also, near it, as in the cage on the ground, or the cage that the guy was teleported in? Also, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I'm back. Just gotta earbuds back in.
Objection!
Fuck! Where? Okay. Where did I last leave off? Uh... Okay, how to remember when they say cage, they don't mean. Can I pull up the mouse? Okay, I'm not sure if the Oh, never mind. There we go. I keep thinking this whole thing is the cage. Like this part is the cage, so just this whole machine. But I guess it's referring. I think it's referring to the thing he was strapped onto being the cage.
Objection!
Damn it. I was thinking like if no one went near it, then how did the stab wound happen? But then I remembered the stabbing was supposedly before. The fans would have to accept the penalty given. Do I have to press again? Okay, I'm pretty sure I already went through this, so... What did Naruto say? Some kind of switch around trick instead. Would a possible argument be if he really was on the stage, how come the victim wasn't burned at all? But I'm not sure. Wait a minute. I'm grateful only my balloons were not damn. What about that green balloon that kid mentioned? Oh, maybe if I press it again.
Hold it!
Hey Virgil, hope you're doing well tonight. And yeah, 10 pounds to go up on a balloon. Hot air balloon anyway. Wait. I'm not sure if this will work, but if he says none of his balloons are okay, hold on. I pressed him, pressed her. Let me press on the toddler again and see if their two statements coincide.
Hold it!
Just oh, good morning? Green balloon, God damn it, this again? I thought they say something different. Okay.
Objection!
Oh, thank God. Mr. Loon, in your testimony, you said that all three of the balloons you had operating at the time were undamaged. Good 5 a.m. morning-ish? See, that is correct. If they had been caught in the explosiones, it would have been terrible. Or terribile. I wonder if you might know what this is? I think it may be. See, part of a balloon. A burnt piece of the fabric of the envelope. An envelope? Pardon. There's a large round part of the balloon which becomes filled with hot air. It is made from very thick fabric lined with rubber. You do not want it to rip when you are in the sky. Just as I thought. This piece of cloth was found near the experimentation stage. In other words, as Master Gotts testified, a green balloon did indeed explode that day. Oh boy. Oh man, I think you're getting the rain that maybe my area got, because it was raining a lot last week and sometime before that. If all the balloons in the sky above the experimentation belong to you, Mr. Loon, then your statement that they were all undamaged is clearly contradicts the evidence. Oh, your balloons! If the balloon exploded today, why didn't the man say so? Maybe everyone on board was killed. Oh no, having just spent 10 whole pounds for the experience? How awful. Seems to me like those things crash 50% of the time anyway.
Objection!
The instantaneous kinesis did occur, but after the explosion on the stage, the point of materialization shifted to a location occupied by a balloon.
Causing the balloon to explode? Yes, eminently plausible.
An unfortunate traffic accident, as it were, but it changes nothing about the pertinent facts. Oh, Hiengi. This I cannot accept. Why not, Mr. Loon? You are suggesting that I am a liar. That person's died in a balloon incidente. There's no need to get fired up, Mr. Loon. But the victim was the sole fatality that day. That's right, and I prove it. Balthazar Loon is not a liar. There were no such balloon in the sky. It is non possible. You're saying it's impossible? How? This court has more important matters to discuss than the number of balloons that were operating that day. Hey!
Objection!
But we can't ignore the fact that nobody appears to have known anything about this other balloon until now. My lord, the defense calls for further testimony from Mr. Loon.
I concur. There's clearly more to the truth here than meets the eye. It's imperative that we clear up the issue of this phantom balloon, I feel.
Phantom balloon!
With this, you will give supplementary testimony about the balloons you were operating at the exhibition.
Grazie, my lord. Why are we focused on the toddler? As I said, Balthazar Loon is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. All 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground in explosion, what a catastrophe. Catastrophe? You can't get away from the fact that a bit of cloth was surrounded the scene, can ya? The compass at the yard reckoned it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage. This stupido ragazzo is mistaken. My balloons have their red and blue zigzag stripes anyway. Wait a minute. Kid said it was green. And I have this shredded piece to prove it, but he's saying his balloons have zigzags? So maybe someone else's balloon flew in.
Sure, the balloon the shell saw was not one belonging to you.
See, exactamente. If you saw a balloon in the first place. I do not like the sound of it. It is very bad for the business. I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia. If you attack us, we will fight back. It will be war, all out war, over balloons. Okay, back to fighting. What happened to all-out war? This balloon certainly doesn't appear to be lying, but that doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here. If the defense is unable to find fault with the witnesses' statements, the court must consider them the truth. Think long and hard on that, my learned friend. Long and hard, eh? Sorry. The situation has clearly changed now. I have to get to the bottom of what happened here, no matter what it takes. Last time France... Yeah, boy. Well, technically it's not France, it's Italy. And the little kid from Bohemia's. But yeah, no war, please. I just noticed his hat, it puffs up when he's angry.
Hold it!
You couldn't just have forgotten one, maybe. Signor. I might not notice if I was given 100 lentils and one was missing. But we are talking about 3 enormous balloons. You believe I could make a mistake about something so grand and expensive? I took the liberty of having Inspector Gregson check this gentleman's warehouse. I have the report here. It clearly says a total of 3 balloons.
It would appear number 6 is removed then.
Surely Miss Lestrade could have been sent for that. What, mate? Tell you what, I'll tell you what I told the boss. East End kids like me can only count up to 2. Obviously that ain't true, but the boss bought it and said he'd have to go himself in that case. Either she rolled a nat 20 in persuasion or Gregson rolled a 1 in lie detection.
Hold it!
It would be quite a catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason. On that note, Mr. Loon, tell me, what is it that keeps these balloons in the sky? Are you an idiota? Sorry? That is like asking, why does a candle burn bright? It burns bright because it burns bright. And a balloon flies because it flies! What else? You could explain this... You could explain the science behind fire, hot air, and the balloon. That must be Italian for I don't know. There are 2 types of flying balloons. Hot air balloons and gas balloons. Hot air balloons work on the principle of hot air being less dense than cold air. whereas gas balloons derive their lift by using a gas that is lighter than air. See, and my balloons are filled with the magic gas, I believe. Hydrogen, lighter than air, but highly explosive. Good lord! Wait, so... Okay, I thought he was using hot air balloons, like just the fire, but... If he's using... The magic gas does not like my... Wait, is that how it exploded then? Someone was smoking and... Okay, I assume he was using hot air balloons because of his hat. But if it's gas, then... What's the fire doing there? Even a small spark of static electricity could cause the entire balloon to explode. What's the matter with you, senor? All that comes out of your mouth is explosione! Explosione! I tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe. They have to be, or they cannot eat! None of my balloons exploded that day, I'm completely sure. But if you still say that is what happened, you must show me the proof. Okay, so Mr. Loon had 3 balloons in the air that day. And none of them were damaged. What was the one that exploded?
Hold it!
I was surprised to find the piece of fabric still at the scene, actually. Didn't you search the area surrounding the stage? Nah, I'm not into picking stuff up on the ground, mate. Always works out better. Diving into people's pockets instead. I don't think you should confess to that as a detective in training. So much for the new career path. Starting a defense in this case. Oh, right, okay, so the whole case started off like this. This dude had made like a steampunk teleportation device, but while demonstrating it to a live audience, it exploded, and his assistant, this dude, was killed. So I'm trying to prove that this dude, like, the explosion was an accident, not murder. But in the meantime, we're also hearing from him, her, because they witnessed the explosion, supposedly, from balloons. Mind you, the boss was on his hands and knees picking up all kinds of rubbish from the floor. Thing is, though, the cage went crashing into Crystal Tower, didn't it? So that's where mostly investigating what's going on. Even so, I would have thought someone from Scotland Yard would have gathered it up. Cole, listen to ya. You stumble across a bit of balloon and suddenly you're the best investigator in the world. Excuse me? Well, you ain't got a badge, have you? Like this one. I could arrest you with this if I wanted. I wouldn't put it past her. Come to think of it, there was talk of some scorching on the ground in a meeting we had about the investigation.
Hold it!
There was considerable damage to the stage and surrounding area, wasn't there? Yeah, some of the coves what were watching the experiment were caught in the blast and injured. Good job the old contraption didn't keel over, eh? I hadn't even considered that. It seems there was great panic after the incident occurred. Nevertheless, the police shouldn't have missed a torn piece of the envelope from a balloon. Inspector Gregson can expect repercussions. Like me swiping all his fish and chips, eh? The man saw a pleasure. None of this matters. That scrap of balloon envelope means nothing. Niente. Well, Toddler's been awfully quiet.
Hold it!
You mean the color is wrong? Si, senor. I do not have any green balloons in my warehouse. You have one in your hand, though. Granted, it's sort of like a bluish green, but still. And yet a piece of green cloth was found at the scene. And it's unmistakably from a balloon. Well, I do not know how that can be. For the sake of arguments, let's say that a green balloon didn't explode above the stage. I don't have any green balloons! Well, you don't have them anymore. The only one exploded. You couldn't therefore conclude that it happened on the day in question. Why not? There have been recreational balloon flights over Hyde Park operating from before the Great Exhibition. One could have exploded on some earlier date. Unfortunate, as I'm sure you'd agree. Yeah, but wouldn't it be in the newspapers if it did?
You believe it meant for some earlier balloon accident?
Si, exactamente. As the senor says, it's not from one of my balloons. Clearly it's just a little ragazzo from Bohemia. Excuse me?
Excuse me.
Toddler! Something wrong, Master Gods? It's Master Wilhelm Gottschalk! Oh wait, it's Master Wilhelm Gottschalk Sigismund Ormstein. It was on the tip of my tongue! Yeah, something is very wrong. I know what I saw. There was a green balloon there, I swear it. I swear all over Bohemia. You can speak as much bad language as you like, but it changes nothing. Bad language? Did you... Do you mean as in Bohemian, or him if he start just saying the word fuck over and over again? Balloon, please. If you do not have evidence, ragazzo, then must tell your parents to punish you, eh? Perhaps we'll let the judge decide when it comes to punishments. Evidence? Evidence? What is this evidence?
To give a simple example, young man. A photograph, for instance, some tangible proof of what you claim.
Well, why didn't you say so sooner? I have the photograph here. You... what?
Good gracious!
Eh? I had not been up in a balloon for a little while, so I was very excited. Oh! I took lots and lots of photographs. Okay, memory serves right. This is, not the kind of camera that takes hours and hours. Also, I love how both Mr. Loon and Gene are like, what the crap is that? Of the Crystal Tower, of the Bohemian exhibit, of the streets of London, of the Otil Cellar, the balloon. And the instantaneous kinesis experiment? Did you take a picture of that? Yeah, one picture. Ein photograph. You did take one? But all I wanted was a ride in a balloon. I was not interested in boarding experiments. Never mind that, can you show us? Of course, and then you will see. You will see that I am not lying. That I really did see a green balloon. Oh. Wait a minute. Wait, no, I don't have... Okay, looked like the laser was going for the balloon and the balloon was empty. Well, I see you're all too shocked to speak.
Yes, I think shock is indeed the word, young man.
Balloon, bitte? Yeah, perhaps you cannot see that it was a green balloon from this photograph, but... There goes! Oh! That is not my fault! That is the fault of this stupid person who made the camera! Also, I should probably... Oh man, I should have been keeping track of how many balloons he's lost. That is one very Bohemian sounding cry.
Very well, according to the shape this photograph is evidence.
It's not my fault. It's the fault of the person who made the camera. Well, never mind. I'm sure you have plenty of wonderful sepia memories to take home with you. Sepia? Okay, I see he's there. Wait, he's still in there. And then... Wait. Okay, I did find a crossbow at the scene, at the scene of the crime, so maybe that's what this laser thing is? Since it's not being fired by the giant megaphone doodad. Like, maybe someone was aiming for... took the crossbow, and with all the smoke going on, they aimed for the balloon and it went kaboom. In any case, when exactly did you take that photo? Well, it was on the day of the big explosion. You don't say. Then I pressed the shutter release. There was this very loud bang. And a hot wind rushed over my face. That means the photograph was taken a split second before the explosion occurred. Well, if you ask me, this black and white photograph changes nothing. I could not give the flying fig. I thought I was going. I could not give a flying fa. Oh crap! A toddler. Lovely language you picked up. As I thought, Mr. Loon's testimony just doesn't quite add up. The young bohemian boy claims to have seen another fourth balloon. Mr. Loon vehemently denies the possibility. It is hard to imagine the man in charge could be mistaken about the number that were in the air. Still, this inconsistency must tell us something. Yeah, it's hard to see the zigzag. It's like... He says there were 3, but this experiment sketch says there were 2.
Objection!
Fuck. I don't like my... I'm gonna reload because I don't like my chances of keeping... I'm probably gonna run out of lives super quick. Or wait, is it? I guess I'm supposed to focus on that crossbow bolt later. Hold on, what do I have to prove? Let me see what... Okay.
Objection!
Okay. Unfortunately, the photograph Master Gotts took can't tell us the color of the balloon, but it can tell us something else. Something crucially important. What? It shows that the pictured balloon wasn't carrying any passengers.
My goodness, you're right. But surely all the balloons would have been carrying passengers. There would be no sense in it otherwise.
See, they are for pleasure, for seeing the view. My balloons only fly with passengers. Which tells us that the pictured balloon isn't one of them. So when the incident occurred that day, there was a 4th balloon in the skies above the experimentation stage. The mysterious green balloon. I know nothing! Niente! I can only tell you one thing. If this balloon was not carrying passengers, then it was not one of mine.
Objection!
There are illegal tradesmen everywhere you care to look. Clearly, one such entrepreneur decided to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Great Exhibition. And and managed to operate balloon flights on Mr. Loon's patch without him realizing. See? The competizione, trying to steal my profits. I did not notice, because of the experimento that went wrong on stage. This fourth balloon exploded at the very moment Mr. Assman was beamed from the stage below. Right, so them scraps that fell to the ground after and left them scorch marks, he didn't come from the stage at all. It was bits of the balloon raining down. But cause no one was in it, it didn't get no attention. Wouldn't it still get attention though? Like, it was still a... Like, even if there was no one in it, there's still all debris from balloon bits. Mysterious fourth balloon with no passengers silently floating over the experimentation stage.
Objection!
This photograph shows us nothing more. A stray balloon carrying no one and operated by some rogue traitor. Clearly it has nothing to do with this case.
Its relevance does alert me, I must say.
The court has seen sufficient evidence and heard ample testimony already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded. Hello? Hey! Stop eating! Really? Have we really got to the truth yet? No, I can't let this opportunity slip away. The jurors' minds are made up. And not in our favor. There's more! Look at that bolt!
Objection!
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait. Please don't give your decisions just yet. The photograph from Master Gotts may well be hiding one more vital clue.
What's that?
A vital clue! Dang, you're huge.
Objection!
We're well past the point of mere possibilities. It's time for definitives now, so tell the court. What exactly does this alleged clue in the photograph prove? You can reasonably assume that the picture balloon was destroyed in the searing heat of the explosion. Yes, that's right! Yeah, it was not my fault! Evidently. Because the birdcage from the kinesis machine materialized in the sky where it had been flying. And the balloon, being filled with flammable hydrogen, instantly and explosively ignited. Nuh-uh! That's not what happened. Huh?
The period of this photograph requires closer examination. Counsel for the defense, you will highlight the location of this alleged clue in the photograph for the court.
Of course, my lord. If you look closely, it's plain enough to see. Nuh-uh. Like, your client is guilty. Nuh-uh. Okay, case dismissed. But showing his links to another piece of evidence we have. In a way that leads to an unbelievable conclusion. Is this bolt? I hope I'm pointing at it right.
Take that!
The timing of this photograph can only be described as miraculous. If you look, you'll notice there's a bright white line that appears to point directly at the balloon. Most likely a ray of light caught incidentally on the film. I don't know, dude.
I'm afraid I can see nothing of the sort.
Fix your glasses, then. If you look with a magnifying glass, my lord, it becomes clear what the nature of this bright line really is.
Goodness, what is that?
I see Corn Girl is busy.
Or did I have some flash of light, yes?
Oh, golly, do you think it might be lightning?
Well, could have been a finer day.
I believe we may be looking at fire! A bolt of fire heading straight for the balloon, like an arrow! Or a bullet!
Indeed, even to my raging eyes, it would appear to be a flame of some sort. My word! Are you suggesting this flame struck the hydrogen gas that filled the balloon? Is there a firebender at the crime scene?
That's absurd. The balloon would have been 60 feet above the ground at the time. You idiots! No flame could possibly have reached such a height.
Objection!
Actually, it's my opinion that a particular piece of evidence found at the scene reveals how that is exactly what did happen. Nani?
such evidence exists, Counsel, then for goodness sake, present it, man.
What? Oh, I've got it. It's right here.
Take that!
This was found hidden at the foot of a small ornamental tree near the scene.
Good lord, is that a crossbow?
An arrow dipped in oil and set to light could have been shot from this weapon, sending a flaming arrow straight into the hydrogen-filled balloon. Are you suggesting that crossbow was used to deliberately... Blimey, you're right! That streak of light in the fire looks just like an arrow, don't it? Then, the explosion in front of the balloon, it was... Very likely the result of a flaming arrow from this crossbow. No! Also, I noticed the kid is on a box. I just noticed the kid's on a box. Or a wooden crate.
Counsel, this is an extraordinary supposition.
If the aim was to cause the balloon to explode, the shooter would have used a gun. However, there's an obvious reason why that would have been out of the question. Security? Or that. The noise of the discharge. Of course. Yup. By using a crossbow, the projectile could be fired at the balloon silently. Well, yeah, if someone had shot a gun in the exhibition grounds, it would have caused a real panic. But with the big explosion there was a great big panic anyway, no? I don't like this. So someone on the ground... Who the hell released that, like, no, like, people-less balloon, then fired it? I should be pleased I found a plausible new explanation for all this, but something feels wrong.
Objection!
Do you understand the implications of what you're saying, my... Nickelback... friend. If a flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if the birdcage appeared from the cloud of smoke that ensued... Oh! Oh, it would give the illusion that it worked. Wait a minute, what are you really saying here? I don't get it. Was the birdcage beamed up into the sky after all? Or... what?
My goodness, bird!
Now I get it. That's why that sinking feeling's about. I think there's a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed inside the balloon all along.
What? Did I just hear that correctly, Counsel?
Wait. Like in the roundy bit? Because I'm not... Okay, I don't know. I've never seen up close how big these little carrying parts are, but it would have to be pretty gosh darn deep to not be able to see it. Also, isn't the birdcage thing right down here? There's no going back now. The horse is bolted.
Giddy up, Silverblaze!
Let's assume, as I said, that the birdcage was hidden inside the green balloon from the start. On stage, when the experiment was started, the birdcage in the instantaneous kinesis machine disappeared in a cloud of smoke. At that moment, the flaming arrow was fired from the ground. Oh, maybe it was all planned? Causing the green balloon to explode and drawing the attention of the spectators to the sky above their heads. Okay, because originally I was thinking, how does this work? Because I was under the impression that maybe some conspirator was, like, doing the balloon explodey plan without knowledge of the machine, but unless it was all according to Keikaku involving the machine. From amid the smoke, the hidden birdcage then appeared to fall down and crash into the crystal tower. I think you'll all agree it's entirely plausible that what I've just described is the real truth behind the miraculous experiment carried out that day.
There's... Good grief!
Objection!
Oh yeah, here's the weird thing. My case is I have to prove I'm trying to prove that the machine, that the thing didn't actually work, like, it was an accident. While Van Zieks here is trying to prove that the experiment was a success, therefore, like, that this dude's experiment was 100% successful, thereby making him guilty of murder. It's child's play. A contemptible display of stage magic. Both Mr. Sholmes and Iris said that the experiment was a scientific impossibility. In which case, this is the only way to explain what happened. And in any case, the victim's body was found inside the birdcage in the Crystal Tower. If the instantaneous kinesis didn't take place, how do you explain that?
If I may put in a word, as a man of magic myself, such apparent discrepancies can easily be explained by some simple deception.
Oh yeah, like have twins or something. Juror number 3?
All that would be needed is a doppelganger, someone who looked very similar to the victim.
Okay, hold on. Earlier in this case, there was mention of a wax museum where this lady has very realistic looking wax figures of various people, so maybe she had one? Like, it could be that she had one that looked very similar to this dude, and they used that for the switcheroo, or just for the trick.
And having this other man appear on stage to front the show. Birds! As a body double.
Yeah, of course. So in fact, Mr. Asmund must have been inside the birdcage that was concealed inside the balloon all along.
Objection!
That balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. Anything hidden inside it would have been scattered to the four winds when it exploded. No one would ever have embarked on such a risky venture.
Not necessarily. The explosive force of the balloon gas would very much depend upon the mixture ratio.
Okay, I find it very cool and very suspicious that the jury is helping me. Juror number 4?
Flying balloons are rarely filled with pure hydrogen, but a mixture of other gases such as helium. Helium on its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the gas mixture ratio, the explosive force can be altered. And with helium, your voice can sound a lot higher!
Mixture ratio.
Obviously, the victim's body would have suffered some burns. That would be unavoidable. But not to such an extent as to render this whole obscene charade impossible.
So everything that happened can be explained, logically and scientifically. The explosion that engulfed the stage at the start of the experiment was no accident. It was all part of an elaborate deception, to make it appear that the instantaneous kinesis had occurred.
Well, goodness me.
And if we accept that this is what happened, it means that the victim, Mr. Asden, was never present on the public experimentation stage to begin with. In short, he couldn't have been killed by the defendant, who was on stage in full view the whole time. This will be very hard for the prosecution to counter. Lord Van Zieks can't credibly maintain that Professor Harebrain is a suspect now. No! Oh god, you're gonna fuck up my case again! Mr. Naruhodo, I appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Professor? We can stop now. Just keep your mouth shut, please. Do you want a guilty verdict? What's all this about, Mr. Harebrain? I, Albert Harebrain, hereby confess that it was me who stabbed Mr. What the fuck are you doing? Yes, it was me, my faithful friend and partner, Andrew the Screwdriver. What are you doing? My thoughts exactly! Oh yeah, side note. Andrew the screwdriver is this. He named all his tools.
Defendant, explain the sonic compression.
Professor Hairbrain, what are you talking about? It's what I've said all along. I must protect my hypothesis. Oh my god. You're willing to get yourself the guilty verdict just to protect your machine? You stand there and claim it was all a trick. An elaborate prank. But where's your proof? No, you'd have to examine the machine if you wanted to prove it. But then it would all be over. Do you what? Okay, so unless we can get this dude a not guilty verdict, we have to examine that machine, but he doesn't want us to. My beautiful hypothesis would be laid bare. I mean, the indignity of it. It's clear that you drew the plans for the experiment, but you didn't actually build it. Oh yeah, that too. It's quite conceivable that you were duped, Professor. If you'll just let me... Hello? Yes? I'll cooperate. I'll do whatever you say. I swear it. So please. Show this special SE Act is adhere to and protect my creation. Oh my god. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollow chalice at this critical juncture. Here's to my learned... nice drink of water, friend. And his upcoming attempt to clarify the defense's position in the light of the accused's confession. Huh? Do you intend to formally assert that the experiment was nothing more than a conjuring trick? Because the moment you do... Oh, that smells good. The STSC that protects the professor's invention will cease to apply. Prosecution will then demand a rigorous examination of the machinery involved in order to establish the truth. However, if you acknowledge that the machine is genuine and instrumental in the victim's murder... Glass number 3! Any chance of investigating will be crushed, and the confidentiality of the professor's hypothesis preserved. Fuck me!
What is the dimension of evil possession?
What Professor Hairbrain, my client, actually asked of me was to prove that the explosion on stage was an accident and protect the secrecy of his hypothesis. There's no way to do that without implying the professor's guilt. Do I protect my client's life by asserting his innocence, or do I uphold my client's request but see him condemned? Why did the game autosave? Either way, I'm boned! You've been silent long enough. Isn't talking your trade, my learned friend? Says you've been talking a lot too! Or has all knowledge of English escaped you or confused? 9 o'clock shadow, friend. Mind. Oh god, this is very similar to the second Ace Attorney game where you have the option of either declaring your client guilty or innocent, but doing either option, you're screwed. Mr. Naruto! There's no escape. I had to make a choice! It's an impossible one! I had to give up something. But what? The defense asserts that a defendant's instantaneous kinesis machine was in fact... Oh god! Like, I know the client requested keep making the science invention, like, protected and 100% legit, but doing so makes him guilty. Plus, there's all this evidence of all, like, these explosions and, like, the metal didn't go, and the fact that someone else built the machine and he didn't, wouldn't that be proof enough that something's up? Oh, God. Okay, if memory serves right, in this universe, in these trials, not guilty guilty verdicts equal death sentence, especially for murder, so you can't exactly defend your case. You can't exactly defend your hypothesis if you're dead. No, I can't say it! My client placed his faith in me. I can't just let him down. Whoa. What must I give up on is not the question you have to ask yourself here. Is what can I protect? Ah! Am I hallucinating? Hello again, Mr. Naruto. It's been far too long. Susato-san? Where are you? Hiya! Ow! My first Susato takedown is 6 months. Wait, is this why? Okay, Sholmes and Iris, they said they couldn't be here. Is this why? They were getting her? There'll be time to talk later, Mr. Naruto. For now, we must concentrate on the task at hand. Which is working out not what I have to give up on, but what I can protect. Professor Hairbrain. Yes? Yesterday you told me that science is the pursuit of truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth too. Yes, of course. And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Asman. I think you've come to realize something yourself too, haven't you? That your experiment and the machine you built with the victim are questionable. The truth behind that is what we must both pursue now. Glass number 4. I'm counting the bottle as a glass. So, you finally opened your eyes. Huh? And as for you, Albert, you can't ignore this any longer. Huh? Having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say? I'm scared. Barrack? Lord Van Zieks? Gosh, I've never heard him speak that way before. In truth, there is one thing. Something I've remembered that's of relevance. What? Spit it out, man! On the day it happened, just before I began the experiment, I saw a man near the stage. A man holding that cross. Ah! I beg your pardon? Professor, did this man have any distinguishing features? What did he look like? Tall. Taller than me. And thinner than me. He's a twig! Straighter and wider than mine. Let me see. One less lens than me too. A monocle. A rather stylish black monocle. Do I know anyone like that? No, he has... The only person I could think of is Barrack Van Ziek's apprentice, who's this mysterious dude I met once, but he doesn't talk, he doesn't even emote. One thing in particular will help to positively identify the man. You see, I know... What? After all, I knew it! The engineer! Get him in here! Someone call 2-4, we need him! Stop building sentries! We have a court case! What? He built the machine? Yeah, he said earlier that... Okay, Hairbrain said earlier that he didn't build the machine himself because he's bad with building things. That's right. Mr. Asman introduced him to me a year ago. He's a man by the name of... Enoch Dreba. Enoch Dreba. Is there a pun in there? Enoch Dreba!
Does his name mean something? Members of the jury seem flustered. Not a name any scientist wishes to hear. The man's an abomination. Not a name any conjurer wishes to hear either.
Who on earth is he?
I'm afraid this isn't the first tale of this nature that I've heard in scientific circles in connection with that name. There's talk of other flamboyant experiments that turned out to be nothing but stage trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascal is after the government's research grant money.
When magicians are in need of money, I have heard of them resorting to these underhand tactics. Such acquaintances of mine with experience of such things have mentioned Enoch Dreba's name before.
The man is both an engineer and a magician. Yes, we're dealing with an unparalleled confidence trickster here. That's Enoch Dreba for you.
Is he in the gallery right now? So it's true then. My invention, my great machine, it was just a grand illusion. Considering what we've heard about Mr. Dreber's character, I'm sorry to say that sounds increasingly likely. Even though no one else believed it, I wanted to. I wanted to believe that machine would function exactly as my hypothesis predicted. Which is why you were so opposed to it being investigated, I presume. I knew that if the machine was examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypothesis. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen, but at the same time, I knew that if it was found to be nothing more than a trick, than a work of deception, then everything I'd worked towards, all my research, all my dreams, my whole life would be over. I was terrified at the prospect. So you really had no idea about the true nature of the machine then? And the true nature of Mr. Dreber? I never questioned anything. I didn't want to question it. I'm not wondering if, Mr. Yeah, I think Rianowski might be on the same page as me. Like, maybe those two are in cahoots to scam this dude, but maybe something went awry with Mr. Asman dying, or Dreber was like, you know what, screw this, I'm getting all the money for myself, backstabs him and then takes all the money. We're working together to use you as a means of fraudulently acquiring the research grant money. When I announced my invention to the crowds that day, it was the finest moment of my career. I pulled all the levers and turned all the dials in exactly the way Dreber had described. When the smoke suddenly started billowing out, I panicked. I didn't know what was happening. But I really don't know how the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything anymore. Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent to the prosecution submitting the necessary paperwork to release your invention from the protection afforded by the SDSE Act? Yes, please go ahead. I'm very sorry. Finally!
So the plan we have to suspend proceedings for the remainder of the day. Lord Van Jeeks.
My lord?
The court has newly been made aware of another party whose involvement in this matter is critical.
Yes, Mr. Dreber.
gather information about the man. If possible, I should like him served with a subpoena.
Sorry, I forgot about Van Zieg's bowing animations. I thought he was about to slap something. With pleasure, my lord.
Now, counsel for the defense.
Yes, my lord.
When we're concerned, I shall be looking for one thing and one thing alone from you. A kiss. Evidence that the defendant is innocent of the crime for which he presently stands accused.
I understand.
Good. In that case, this court is adjourned until tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. Finally, we can investigate that machine. Also, okay, I don't know how the letter that Ryunosuke got from Susato. Like, Grant, it has been 6 months, but god damn, how did she travel so fast? Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. I'm so sorry. I was wrong. You were right. I tricked you. You trust me. I dragged you into my mess. Oh, how did it ever come to this? I'm so sorry. Did you really have no idea about what Mr. Drebber was really up to? About what he was really constructing? Naturally. That machine was the embodiment of my hypothesis, of all my hopes and dreams. I had complete faith in it. Alright, in that case I won't say any more. Now, sadly the murder accusation against you still stands. So we must do as much investigation as we can before the trial resumes tomorrow morning. I know that struggle, the glasses that keep sliding. Well, thank you for doing so much for me. I'm so sorry for arriving late this morning, Mr. Naruhodo. Arriving late? Didn't you receive my postcard? I wanted to let you know when I'd arrive. Sholmes and Iris, they must have kept it a secret for a surprise. Postcard? What postcard? I hid it from you, Rudo, so it would be a surprise. Called it. Well, did it work? I was surprised, alright, especially when she threw me to the ground. I'm also surprised that when she threw me to the ground, no one in court went, oh shit! Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I was just so happy to see you again that it sort of slipped out. I'm so happy to see you! Throws you into a wall. Maybe we could stick to more traditional displays of emotion in the future. Susie's train was late into London Victoria this morning, you see. We made the coachman really whip the horses hard so she didn't miss the whole trial. I feel okay. Thank you, but I hope those horses got extra carrots or extra treats. I was watching from the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself. I climbed over all those barristers. Well, I'm glad you didn't. Having you at my side in court gives me the strength I needed to win. So, I'm delighted to see you back in London. Oh, you're too kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm delighted to be here. I hope I can continue to be of service to you. Of course. So, what brought you back? Did Professor Mikotoba not protest? Let's save all that conversation for when we're back at home, shall we? You know, I've made one of my most special blends ever for this special occasion. Oh, Iris, how wonderful. I can't wait. Susato-sama was back in London. It's hard to describe how happy that made me feel, but despite my elation, our tale was about to take yet another extraordinary turn. It's like a roller coaster of turns.